Known for its stunning medieval architecture, half-timbered houses and iconic cathedral, this city promises a blend of rich history and irresistible charm. Walk cobblestone streets and squares tracing the legend of Joan of Arc as this city evokes French culture and heritage at every corner. I'm Jetaway Joe,
and I'm here in the charming French city of Rouen.
Rouen is located in the Normandy region of northern France, along the banks of the river Seine. The city lies roughly 84 miles northwest of Paris and is roughly 56 miles from the city of Le Havre, that lies on the English Channel. Rouen is the largest city in Normandy and was one of the largest and most prosperous cities of medieval Europe. Rouen is easy to reach by train, with Rouen-Rivière-Droite railway station being on the main line from Paris Saint-Lazare station, a journey which takes roughly an hour and 15 minutes. A 50-minute journey in the opposite direction will take you to Le Havre on the English Channel. TGV services also link Rouen with Lyon, Avignon and Marseille. If you're driving, the A13 motorway links Rouen to Paris and the Norman city of Caen. The nearest international airport is Paris-Beauvais. It's located about 85 kilometres to the east of the city. This airport's only serviced by low-cost carriers like Ryanair and Wizz Air, and public transport from this airport to Rouen is non-existent. Paris's main airports of Charles de Gaulle and Orly Airport are accessible, although public transport connections need to be made in Paris city centre. Once in Rouen, you'll find the city is flat and compact. It's perfect to explore on foot. The city has a tram network consisting of 2 lines that run underground in the city centre. The tram connects the city centre with the suburbs south of the River Seine, as well as the railway station and Rouen's 3 BRT lines that all link up in the city centre. I woke up fresh the following morning, having arrived in Rouen from Paris by train the evening before. One of my favourite things to do on holiday is get up, make a coffee and get back in bed and just take 15 minutes to relax before hitting the ground running. Come on in, let me show you around the Airbnb. The kitchen was well equipped for a holiday rental with a coffee machine, toaster, microwave oven double hob and all the pots and pans needed to self-cater. This led into a living room that was flooded with light, and downstairs was the bedroom with a really comfy double bed and doors out to the terrace. The bathroom and wardrobe space was a bit on the snug side, but it was fine for a short stay. This duplex-style studio, nestled in a peaceful residential area of Rouen and set within one of the city's iconic half-timbered houses, was absolutely stunning. Modern, comfortable and immaculately clean, it was also within walking distance of all the city's attractions. So, what more could I ask for? I'll pop a link to it in the description below. Anyway, let's go see some sights. But first, let's go get some breakfast. I am hungry. The best thing about this holiday rental was that it was right next door to a boulangerie, so fresh pastries were on order every morning and they were 110% worth getting up early for too. Also, please don't judge me for putting my GCSE French to use.
Bonjour. Un pain au chocolat et un pain au raisin, s'il vous plaît.
Breakfast sorted. That's another great thing about France, is the pastries.
Fresh pastries. Oh, do you look at that? So good. Might not be the healthiest breakfast, but I don't care. Because that is hitting the spot. Looks good. I've had breakfast, I've had a quick change, feeling pretty fresh. Let's go out and explore all that Rouen has to offer. That morning, I went from the flat over to the Rouen tourism office as the evening before I'd booked an audio-guided City and Joan of Arc tour on a bit of a whim to get me acquainted with the place.
So I've just been and collected my audio guide tour. It's self-guided. I collected it from the Rouen City Tourism Office and I think it cost me about £7, but I'll pop the cost to the audio guide on the screen now for you.
This audio guide cost €8 from the Rouen Tourism Office, and it takes you on a guided tour through the city's streets and sights. Armed with a phone-style audio headset and a map that points out all the stops on the tour, all you have to do is simply follow the map and key in the number on the map when you reach the relevant site. Easy peasy. The best thing about this tour is you can take this at your own pace too, soaking up the history as you walk the charming streets. The tour kicked off at Rouen Cathedral. This imposing Gothic cathedral, immortalised by Monet's Impressionist masterpieces, is dominated by its towering spire, once the tallest in the world, and its towers, each built in a different architectural style. The spire is still the tallest in France.
Christianity's been in the city for nearly 2,000 years, but this incredible Gothic cathedral behind me was consecrated in 1063 in the presence of William, Duke of Normandy, who went on to become William the Conqueror of England.
And this isn't the only link Rouen Cathedral has to the British monarchy. Walking up to the main doors and stepping inside, the sheer size of Rouen Cathedral is absolutely breathtaking as you notice all the detail and intricacies of the towers. There are so many different nooks and crannies, memorials, altars, and stunning stained glass windows to look at, as light floods the cathedral from all corners. Bathed in a warm glow of sunlight from the windows above lay Rouen Cathedral's next link to the British monarchy.
This is the tomb of Richard the Lionheart, King of England. Now, his body is at Fontevraud Abbey in the Loire Valley, but his heart was entombed here at Rouen Cathedral, basically leaving his heart here, showing his love for the city.
The inscription on the tomb translates from Latin as, "Here lies the heart of Richard, King of the English, who died in 1199, known as the Lionheart."
And then just across the abbey is the epitaph for his grandma, Empress Matilda, who is buried here in Rouen Cathedral, but has a very understated plaque just on a wall at the side of the cathedral.
The inscription on Empress Matilda's epitaph, a woman who briefly claimed the English throne in 1141 during the anarchy, a bitter civil war fought against her cousin King Stephen of England for the crown, translates from Latin as Matilda, daughter of Henry I, King of England and Normandy, was the wife of Henry V, Holy Roman Emperor, and the mother of Henry II, father of Richard the Lionheart. Here in Rouen, grandmother and grandson, one who ruled and one who wanted to, lay on opposite sides of the cathedral from each other.
I'm not a religious person, but it is a beautiful cathedral. It really is.
Following the guide through the city, Saint Ouen Abbey, a former Benedictine abbey turned church, was another major site on the trail and had some lovely gardens around it. Construction on this church started in 1318 and wasn't completed until 1537, thanks to a little skirmish called the 100 Years' War. The church was undergoing some restoration work at the time of my visit, but that didn't detract from its beauty. It was huge inside, daunting even given the fact that it was empty. It was perfect to soak in the atmosphere and not feel rushed around places.
Decided to stop and just get a little cup of coffee and also a little Nutella cake. So good.
And I suppose that was the beauty of this being self-guided. It was being able to take it at my own pace and do things on my own time, including having coffee when I wanted to. Fully caffeinated though, the tour and sights continued, including stopping off to see this effigy of Monet on my way down to the Gros Horloge, the Rouen Astronomical clock. This clock dates back to the 14th century. Its mechanism was installed in 1389, making it one of the oldest in France, and it's located on a Renaissance-style archway that crosses the street. It's since become one of Rouen's most famous landmarks. From here, the tour continued and ended on the market square. Unlike some other European cities, the market square actually still operates as a market, and it's also a lively hub for bars and restaurants. The streets and squares around it are also filled with bars, pubs and restaurants, so you won't have to go far if you're feeling hungry or thirsty. The market square played a key role in the medieval history of France, for it was here, on May the 30th, 1431, that Joan of Arc was burned at the stake for heresy at the age of 19. This was following a period of imprisonment in Rouen and a trial orchestrated by the English during the 100 Years' War. Her martyrdom upon her death made her a national symbol of French unity and resistance, and she was declared a saint by the Catholic Church in 1920.
Now, I've been walking quite a lot today with this walking tour, and I think I deserve a little treat. Might only have just finished my walking tour, and it might only be 1:30 in the afternoon, but I don't care. Cheers.
It was a beautiful day. Despite being early October, it was 18 degrees sat in the sunshine, so why not? After a couple of lunchtime wines, I made my way down to the Joan of Arc Museum, where I'd made an afternoon reservation for a ticket online. The museum is housed in the 15th century Archbishop's Palace, the very building where her trial took place. It offers an immersive journey through history, using state-of-the-art multimedia displays where visitors can explore Joan's remarkable story, from her divine visions and military triumphs to her execution and eventual sainthood. The exhibits include immersive films and reconstructions that bring the medieval world to life. The tour is given in French, but translations with the help of some of the most uncomfortable earphones known to man are available. It's a must-visit destination for anyone interested in this iconic figure and her enduring impact on French history and culture.
Joan of Arc Museum. That was very, very interesting.
I highly recommend the Joan of Arc Museum. Tickets cost €11 for adults and €8 for children, and it's open Tuesday through Sunday between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m, with the last admission being at 5:15 p.m. If you have a specific time you want to go, I'd recommend reserving online in advance, and if so, I'll pop a link to the website in the description below.
Now at night, Rouen takes on a completely different atmosphere as its bars, restaurants and pubs come alive. What I really like about it though is the street lamps. They kind of flicker, they give the impression that they're a real flame, which is a really nice touch with all the timber framed buildings. Now, what I've done tonight is I've just found myself a little wine bar, glass of wine, some charcuterie, some cheese, and it was excellent as well, just what I needed on my last night in Rouen.
There was just a different feel to Rouen at night, and the historical streets really had atmosphere. That's why I'd definitely recommend spending a night or two in Rouen. You get to see a side of the city that you don't always see during the day. Although an under-the-radar city, Rouen definitely has plenty going for it for a short break, especially if, like me, you're into your history, architecture and taking things a bit slower. Let me know, have you been to Rouen, and if so, what did you think? Hit like if you've enjoyed this video, or subscribe for more travel content.
Now, I've had a great time here in Rouen. It's a fantastic little city and I'd highly recommend it for a night or two. Thanks for watching, see you again soon.